Hi, my name is Cassie Quistorf. I'm the executive director of Klamath Film, and with me today is Scott McGrath, the creative mind behind the singing Sorceress. Scott, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Absolutely. Excited to be a part of this festival.
Yeah, totally. So to kind of kick things off, how did this film get started? What's your relationship to Frank, and what was kind of the inspiration behind starting and doing this film?
Yeah, so Frank's my dad, and I've been going up to the cabin where we made the film for most of my life, definitely as a kid, every summer. We spent a lot of time up there. And as an adult, I moved further out away from the East Coast, and it's been harder to get up there over the years. I really want to make it back up. And kind of simultaneously, my sister had planted the seed in my head of like, dad's getting older. He's only going to be wanting to bring the boat up so many times and rig it up. And, we don't really know how to do any of this stuff. And, it'd be good to kind of document all of that while we still can. And I realized she was right, and that was a good idea. But of course, I kind of wanted to do it in my own way, which is probably a less practical and useful way. I still don't know how to like rig up the sailboat or anything, but yeah, the more I thought about it, the more I just like thought about how uh, good of characters like my dad and the boat are to me, and I wanted to, yeah, capture that and share that.
Yeah, that's so special. I love that. I don't know. I feel like maybe approaching someone that you're so close with, your family member, and being like, so I have this film idea. I would love to just capture, you and your relationship with the boat. So how did that conversation go, talking with your dad and bringing the camera out?
Yeah, making a film with your family is definitely weird. Very special. Like that week up at the cabin filming with them. It was great. They got to kind of share what I do with me, and it was great to kind of make them, a part of the process, and especially my dad. But you have these layers of relationships that you're kind of like all working through at the same time. And it's kind of hard to be like an objective storyteller as well as son, as well as like person on vacation, as well as all these other things going on. So it was kind of weird at first. I don't think they really understood like the level of film I was hoping to create. And they've seen a lot of my work, but to picture yourself like in that scenario, I think was difficult for them at first. But kind of like once we got going, my dad was, pretty quickly like, okay, so you probably for me for this scene, you probably want me to, like stand here and walk up towards, like, and you're like, yep, yeah, that's
That's
what I want. Yeah,
it.
great. And a lot
I
of it was
love
just
that.
like based off of these memories that we have of going to the cabin every year, and it's like, well, this is the way we do it, so that's the way we film it, right? So a lot of it was kind of cut and paste from years and years of shared experiences.
Wow, that's awesome. And so what is the pre-production process like? Like storyboarding something like this that's so close to your heart and so close to your family's heart, and kind of getting the visuals that you want mapped out. And then, like you said, your dad is like, so for this shot, I'll just walk over here and everything. So what was
Mhm.
kind of that storyboarding and what you wanted the film to look like making in your head?
Yeah, I wanted the film to feel a little more deliberate and methodical and smooth. Partly because that's just how my dad is. He's a very deliberate and measured kind of person, and especially combining that with like the smoothness of sailing and kind of the gracefulness of aging, both the boat and him, just kind of felt like it made sense to be a little bit more deliberate and smooth in the visual storytelling. So a lot of like the visuals I had kind of very loosely storyboarded before I went up there. Just again, like based on, years of being up there and kind of like how I saw things in my head. And then, a lot of it was just while we were up there, especially after we've done the interview, like, okay, that always generates a lot of ideas for B-roll. So from
Yeah.
there, just kind of like sitting down with a cup of coffee every morning at the cabin and kind of thinking through the day and how we can best tell those things. And, sometimes uh bumping ideas off of him, like, so what, if I wanted to kind of like capture it this way, because that's, how I see it, how could we do that with, the wind and the boat? And, he kind of
Wow.
put together some of the logistics because that's what he's best at. So
Yeah, kind of great to have that expertise talking and everything. And honestly, those production meetings sound so dreamy at a cabin with some coffee over the
there,
lake.
I've had a lot of production meetings and none can top that setting. So
There
very
you go.
special.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm sure those memories are sure to be cherished. And that kind of goes into my next question. I mean, what advice would you have for someone who is a filmmaker or someone who wants to maybe just make a film about someone super special in their life? And how do they honor them? And how do they really share their story in a way that makes you feel good and also the person that you're trying to kind of do an ode to almost?
Yeah, it's a pretty complex process, I have to
Yeah.
say. But obviously like super worth it. And, just like interviewing your dad on camera is a really unique challenge. And, you know, just kind of peeling back some of the layers of your own relationship at the same time is a really special way to do that. And I think, when you approach someone in your life that you want to kind of um, you know, make live in your own world, I think just try to do so with sensitivity, and they'll, if it's someone you care about and they care about you, they're going to be very excited to, share your art with you and have them be a part of that. So,
Yeah.
it's a unique thing, and I think, if everyone has an opportunity to try that at some point in their life, then, go for it.
Pretty great. Well, it's really cool to see kind of in this film, Frank spark, almost his life spark with the singing sorceress and going out on the lake. What would you want people to maybe take away after watching this film, whether it's about your dad or about sharing stories or about kind of relationship that you might have with an activity or a place?
Hmm. Yeah, I think some of the themes that were important to me in making this film were, like, number one, that there's beauty in imperfection, that,
Um,
my dad is an imperfect person and the boat is an imperfect handmade thing, as we all are. We're all pieces of, organic matter that bend and twist in unique ways as we get older. And, there's beauty in that, in the ways that we become new things, new creations as we get older. And, that there's some beauty in that, and to be patient through that process and enjoy it along the way.
Wow, absolutely. I love that, Scott. What a great answer. But yeah, so is there anything you're excited to share? Any projects you're working on or future work that is getting you excited right now?
Honestly, no. Um, and
Yeah,
I'm pretty excited about that.
there you go. Taking a hiatus. It's good for
Yeah,
everybody.
I'm trying to have kind of a healthier approach to passion projects. Just like letting them kind of come to me as this one did, and jumping opportunities when they feel right, and not putting myself in as many situations as like, oh, I'm here and I have to see this through. And yeah, just trying to find a healthier balance.
Wow, another great answer, Scott. And I'm
Let you
sure
know if I'm
something,
successful.
yeah, something we all need to hear every now and then for sure as
Good luck.
independent filmmakers. And yeah, come on. Okay, well, Scott, it's been such a pleasure chatting with you today. Thank you so much for bringing this film to our 11th annual Klamath Independent Film Festival. We're so excited to be sharing it and wish you all the best in your future endeavors.
Thanks a lot. Hope everyone enjoys the festival.
Yeah, thanks, Scott.